What is going on, guys? It is your boy CryptoMykel here, coming today with a, well, how-to-ish video. So, there's been tons of videos on Clore here recently from fellow tubers in space, but I have been using it to rent like CPU power for, in particular, ore mining, especially since the new iteration of the Ore mining client for Eclipse Pool has gone live. It makes it a lot easier now. We don't have to import private keys into computers that we don't trust. We can just generate a temporary one. Now the pool fees don't matter because we're not paying fees for pools, and the sign up no longer costs. So really, there is no really need to fund the wallet. You can back it up though. Yeah, I would back it up just to be safe. But with the latest update in like ore mining is getting a little bit easier to where we don't have to import private keys. But like I said, we're utilizing Clore.AI now, and specifically we are using their marketplace. You can use it for AI training, mining, movie rendering. Everything that runs in Docker runs on Clore.AI. Ain't that FA? So, heading on over into the marketplace, some cool little tricks. Maybe you don't, maybe you know, maybe you don't know. For me specifically, I'm mainly focused on CPUs, so you can actually change your GPU count. Like, I don't really care about GPUs, so one GPU works great for me, but what I do care about is I would like something more than 8 cores. So now it's only going to show me things that are 8 cores or more. Now this right here is paying, I have it shown in USD, but below it is the amount in sats. Now this is like sats is in Bitcoin sats, so you're paying $1.24 a day, or 1,850 sats a day for a maximum duration of 3 days. So do keep that in mind, that you can do a minimum of 1 day, but a maximum duration is 3 days. This one's 15 days, and they're all kind of ranked upon the hardware. Now what I have learned is if you go down here to currency, go to Clore, you can see we have a bit more well desirable CPUs spinning for Clore, like this one right here, a 3060 Ti, 36 threads, 18 cores, 81 cents a day. The GPU I'm not really concerned about. I may turn it on to mine something while I'm actually mining ore, but normally if they're just meh, like I rented one for, it had like a 3060 in it. Didn't even use it. Just full transparency. I made more ore than I did. That definitely paid for like what it costed me. So that was a while back. Now things are updated now, so I don't have to like. I made a hot wallet, so that way I didn't have to like use my private key, and I just funded it, imported it somewhere else, so that way I could get the funds back off of it. But that requires a lot of extra work. So with the new updates, you don't have to do all that, and that is specifically for Eclipse.me. Their pool also is they have a mining client, which is in a container form, all right, which is pretty freaking cool. So that does require us to install Rust. That way we can do cargo installs, but we don't have to do Solana CLIs, so that's kind of nice. We will now, before we get started, head on over to your account up here. There is some stuff here that is like redacted, so that way I'm not doxing myself. But do not forget to deposit Clore into your account, or Bitcoin if you're going to use Bitcoin. But just click deposit. Of course, you can't see this or this, but do keep in mind you have to deposit a minimum of 75 Clore in order to use this. As you can see, I do have 84 Clore, so we're good there. And then head on over to your SSH and API keys, create your key. If you don't know how to create your key, type in putty and then gen, and this creates puttygen. Click generate. Make sure you save it, but copy the key. That way you can click add public key, paste it here, save it. It'll generate this little smaller phrase, and make sure you save this key, and you're good to go. And then you'll be able to putty into your machine. Now all we have to do is get a rig, rent it, and continue on. So let's get into that process. So we'll head into, let's just say for rent on this 3060 Ti machine. All right, it is going to cost me 7 Clore a day. Now, general purpose machine, Ubuntu with Jupyter, Ubuntu with VS Code, artificial intelligence. So these are things that can be turned on by default. Stable diffusion, PyTorch, text generation, blockchain processing. You can turn on HiveOS, Dynex Solve, or meme hash for Clore, or any custom Docker. So if you're running a RetroMyk pool, you can import that in right here, and you can run it on Clore. All right. So we're gonna click Jupyter. Of course, I'm not saving any of this information, so don't hack it. All right. So ports, anything that you want to add. If you want to add ports or turn on port forwarding, so if you're running like a pool, you would turn this on, specify your port, add, be good to go. You can randomize your password, so you can just click randomize and you can randomize it, or you can enter in your own password that you would like. Select your private key, so if you have a drop down, if you have multiple keys, you can use it there. If there is a startup script that you want to enable, now to create this, you just need to click create. Creation fee 0.07 Clore plus 1 minute of rental. All right, that is just to create the machine. I'm going to select something a little bit different, so that way it's not the same thing, but you have the drift, right? So let's hop on into the next step, getting the ore miner up and running. So we'll go back to files, go to new, terminal. All right, so we're at the terminal. Now all we have to do is, first thing, we just need to do an apt update, get everything up to date for this specific thing, because we need to install a few things, and well, we need them to be upgraded. So for this part, we need to edit the process just a little bit because things are missing. And now we need to install software properties and then change our apt repositories universe, select it to main, and then we can install git build essentials, SSL dev pack and package config, and then we'll be good to go. So let's start on that process. All right, do that. It is already done, and we're gonna do main. All right, that's good. Then we need to apt update again, and we've installed a few things, and we can even get as fancy as apt upgrade y and get everything fully updated and installed. All right, now that that is done, we can apt install git build essentials, and away we go. All right, good to go there. Now that that's done, we need to apt install curl And then we can install Rust. Downloading the Rust installer. Standard edition, default, just press enter. Pretty simple. Downloading cargo. This will take literally a second. And then we'll be right back. Alright, now that's done. We need to go ahead and click exit. That way this terminal is closed. As you can see, our other terminal is still open. So now we should only have one running terminal still, since we closed one. Alright, now we go back to new terminal. And now we can cargo or install HQ client. And well, now we're installing it. This will take a second. There's like 500 packages that it's got to run through. But otherwise, with a decently equipped computer, this won't take more than a couple minutes. 512 crates to be exact. All right, so now that is done, we just got to run through, well, a little bit of a setup. So all you need to do is just type in Ore HQ client, and that's going to bring up the client menu here. So from here, you can mine, set up, claim, view your balance, stake boost, unstake your boost, stake legacy, which we don't really need to do anymore, unstake your legacy, which if you've staked previously before the newest client release, you should probably unstake so you can restake in the new way. You can also generate a new key pair, which we'll get into in a minute, and as also you can update the client directly all inside this little CLI GUI. So first we need to do is we need to sign up. We're going to do the Ec1ipse.me pool, which it says right next to it. Now, we do not have a wallet installed on this computer because before we actually had to import key pairs from one computer to the next if you wanted to continue using that same exact like key pair on a different device, right? Well, now with the newest update, that is no longer the case. Now we don't even have to install Solana CLI for ore mining only. This is not for coal exactly yet anyway, who knows, but you can actually just generate a hot wallet key pair right here inside the client. So of course a lot of this is blocked off for you, but right here you have a QR code to send funds to. You also have your public address right here, and then right here you have your private address or your private key. So I recommend saving these. Oops, don't click Control C because that does not exactly save. Click copy, save these into, you know, somewhere that's easily accessible, so that way you can just import them into a phantom wallet. That way you can access the funds, which you don't really need to access this because the sign up fee is actually free now. So now we need to go back to sign up, go to Ec1ipse.me. So ideally we'll never actually have to fund this wallet. Would you like to sign up a different pub key than your selected key pair's pub key? No. Alright, give it a second. Successfully signed up. So now we just need to go back to the client again, select mine, Ec1ipse.me. Yes, the generated key pair. We'll do 35. I always recommend going one less just to be on the safe side. You know, we are mining too, so do want to be cautious of that. But nonetheless, now we're up and hashing on Ore and also still mining cubic on the other terminal. So super cool. We're getting 66 solutions still for the pair of 2060s. So we'll be right back in a minute. We'll let this kind of hash away for 5 to 10 minutes, so that way you can kind of get a generalized idea of what the hash rate is like on this machine. But it looks like our first round of hash, we're rolling with 4,200 hashes, 4,200 hashes. Heck yeah. So we'll be right back. All right, so I've actually let it run for just a little bit longer. Even our dual miner has moved over into ore mining on A-Pool, which is kind of speculative at this moment because we can't withdraw ore yet on A-Pool, but it still is GPU mining, so we're CPU mining it and GPU mining it to two different pools. But our CPU has gotten, I'd say, kind of lucky. In the last 27 submissions that we've hit, and this reads up to 100. So in the last 27 that we have hit, we've accumulated 0.005. That one hit really low. But we've hit an average. The most we're hitting is around on 17 difficulty. We've hit 9 of them. 5 of them have been 18, 5 have been 19, 3 have been 20, 1 has been 21, and 1 has also been 22. So averaging so far in the last 20 or so minutes, we're doing, I'd say, pretty well. All right, now to view these stats, you can just head on over to stats.eclipse.me. As you can see, the pool currently has a 4.56 boost multiplier, and that is due to the boost overview right here. So ore boost, there is 1,000 ore staked, which is leaning towards 46% of the boost total percentage. Now if these all hit 100, I think at most there's a 10%. I think we can hit 10% once this has accumulated fully. So this just went live in the past 4 days or so at the time of me creating this video. It's been longer now, so this boost is probably up by the time you're watching this. But nonetheless, that's that, right? Now, in the meantime, with all that being said, it gives us about 5 days of renting power before our rental is up. So we will revisit this in 5 days and see exactly how much ore we have accumulated in that 5-day period. Now, it's going to be 5 days for me. It'll be 2 days for you, or a day and a half, because you'll be watching this on a Wednesday and that video will come out on a Friday. So for you, it'll be much less time. For me, it'll be more. But that can also change and vary upon your luck, right? If you get lucky, you will get higher rewards, right? Anything over a 22 on the pool gives you a little extra of a bit of a bonus for what you have accumulated, right? So anything that we're hitting over 22s is fantastic. Now, we'll see exactly how that stacks up in the next 5 days and see if maybe we can either A, get all of our Clore back and rent more, or B, just hold the ore, and because it's not enough to swap out. But we'll see. And now when it goes time to claim on this weekend, I'll show you, but you can claim to a address that is not the address that we provided for the setup, right? Which is pretty interesting. It's very helpful. That means that we won't have to fund the hot wallet technically ever. It is specifically just a hot wallet to hash away on the pool. So with that being said, guys, we will catch y'all on the flip side. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Stay degenerate, keep on mining, and well, peace.